All right, welcome to Dawn Agreement, a D&D5E actual play, the Book of Zazzit, Chapter 4. Zazzit, as your ship closes in with the northwest, you find yourself approaching the paradise of all goblin people, Gabotopia. Rather than having you land directly at Gabotopia, you are instructed, I should say Captain Saren is instructed to anchor a short distance away from the port and then take boats in. They take several boats loaded almost entirely with mechanical devices. I'm talking like screws, nails, gears, rods, that sort of thing. When you arrive, a massive brown-skinned hobgoblin reaches a meaty arm down to help pull you up onto the dock.
So he was waiting for us at the dock?
Yes. I mean, people could see you coming from a distance away.
Okay. And is there any other way to get up on the dock, or do I have to accept his help?
You could take the rope ladder that's hanging down there.
I'll take the rope ladder.
All right. He waits for you to finish crawling up and says, That's what I would have expected from you. You are the one called Zazzit, yes?
Do I have a name tag on me or something?
The Trinity of Oracles told us that you would be coming.
The Trinity of who, what?
Oracles.
What is that?
They are our sacred diviners.
Okay, so you know why I'm here then, so I don't have to tell you?
We don't know exactly why you are here. My understanding is that you have come to collect knowledge. Indeed, I learned about you during my school education. You are known as the last scholar of the lizard people.
I'm very confused as to how you know.
We very rarely speak with those on the continent, but we are a society of diviners, oracles, librarians, historians. You will find that there is much knowledge here. Now, as he's speaking, a goblin that reaches about to the height of his waist is like tapping him on his shins, and he goes, stop that. All right, give me a... And then he switches to speaking in goblin, and the two of them have an animated conversation.
I might actually know... No, wait, do I know goblin? Because I know that I picked some... I think it might be orcish that I picked, though. I can't remember, actually. Man, I wish the Zazzit page told us that, like in the biography or something, but I don't think it does. I think it's just the...
There is a spot for languages.
Oh, where is it?
Let me look.
Is it features? No, it's not that. Attributes? No. Oh, languages, there we go. Common, Draconic, Infernal, and Elvish. Oh, it's Elvish. Okay. I knew I picked something basic, so...
Okay. You don't understand what they're saying. At some point, the goblin pulls a stamp book out of his vest and hands it to the hobgoblin, who looks like they start having a much more serious conversation, then pulls a stamp and an ink pot out of his belt and then stamps the book. And the goblin happily walks away from this conversation. He says, My apology, says it. There's still, of course, business to do here. I have a nearby office. If you would wait there for an hour, I will finish doing the business of checking in your Captain Saren's goods. At which point I can help you get to wherever you need to in Gabotopia. Or if you know where you're going, you are free to pass. It has been ordered.
Ordered by who?
By the Trinity of Oracles.
Ah, okay. They know everything except for the stuff that is important to know. Got it.
what is important to know differs between person to person, would you not say?
I mean, you know so much about me already, but you don't know why I'm here or what I'm looking for, so... Yeah.
I mean, you are one of the world's great scholars.
I mean, that is a form of flattery, I suppose.
You will find yourself in high regard here. Although I had not expected your attitude to be so brisk.
Go on. Oh, well, I mean, I don't live forever.
He gestures to his office.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know much. I know I'm here for a sword of some descript. What was the name of that sword again, by the way?
The Sword of Falir.
Falir?
F-A-L-E-R-E.
Okay, yeah. And I know it's a relic or something held in high regard. But other than that, I'm at a loss as to where I can find it. So, you know, as a like, what sort of foot traffic is here around his office?
Let me describe this coastal port of Gobotopia. As you look around, it is very southeastern Pacific. Lots of wooden structures, ropes being tied to everything. I would say if you watch Pirates of the Caribbean, the like Singapore arc at the beginning of the third movie where they go to meet Sao Fang in the steam house. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I watched those movies so long ago, and there's so many of them now.
That's fine. Actually, there's only three of them. There's only three. No, Dave. Okay. There's only three. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? There are
just
three.
Like there's only three Star Wars movies. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
Everything is built in tiers, and it seems as if the further in you get, the higher the tiers go.
Are we talking also more like structure, like a better structure the further in you go?
No, it has a worse structure. The deeper in you go, the scarier it looks. The whole town sways, but it's like the wave, right? Like the wind will blow and like one part of the town will sway and it'll, but it's at different amounts. So like some of the wave transfers faster. Everyone here seems to just go with it though. Like when the boards are creaking around them, they just kind of step over the wave as it passes.
Because it's just like a pontoon kind of place.
Yeah, there's a lot of transiting via ropes, using ropes to climb, using ropes to slide down, using a rope to Jack Sparrow from one balcony, swinging out widely over to the next one. It's almost like if you've ever seen those documentaries about like monkey villages, where they set up like these massive treetop like multi-hundred monkeys. No,
I was more thinking like the Lost Boys from you know, what's it, Peter Pan?
Lord of the Flies.
Like no, like the Lost Boys from Peter Pan.
Oh,
or Hook.
Yeah, kind of. There's no skateboards here.
Yeah, they're the closest to human goblins I can think of.
Rufio. There is a lot of smoke pouring out of various sections of the town, and no one seems particularly bothered by the fact that there is a ton of smoke in a town made almost entirely out of wood. That said, you can see that there are something approximating roads. It's almost more like aqueducts that lift off of the ground and allow the transport of people and goods at like several feet, like 10, maybe 12 feet off the ground. Deeper into Gobotopia's island.
Okay. So foot traffic wise, we talking like regular people, citizens?
It's Warhammer 40k Hive City, all right? There are goblins riding other goblins, all right? And they give the hobgoblins some birth, and occasionally You see a white wolf walking around, a warg. Nobody's riding them. They have a protective bubble around them that's like no one wants to brush up against one by accident.
Is there like any particularly outstanding individual here that I could converse with about particulars of finding a sword of some description?
I would say a warg makes eye contact with you briefly, looking down with those yellow eyes with red pupils. And it looks at you for a moment, and then it stops and does that thing dogs do where the back is down and the up front legs are up front, and it's staring down its muzzle at you.
All right, I'll walk over to him.
All right. You are Zazzit.
And you are Warg. We can play this game all day.
I am Mournful Howl at Daybreak.
That's a mouthful.
You have come.
Very observant of you.
Yes, we were told that you would come.
Yet, but you do not know anything about why I'm here. Very strange.
Why will you not just tell us? Speak. You have a mouth, do you not?
You know so much already. Listen, I'm here searching for something. Maybe you can help, maybe you can't. I don't know. Do you know anything about legacy sword artifact? Something.
Child, I have known over 100,000 moons. I was old by your accounting. In your grandfather's time. There is much that I know.
So you do know. Okay, great. Perfect. Can you tell me where it is?
What are you looking for specifically?
Okay. It is the Sword of... Sorry, Arthur. What was it?
Falir.
Valia?
Falir. What you seek is not a sword. It is a book.
Oh, that's easy. Can you just take me to it, please?
Make a persuasion check. You hear a low growl starting in the back of Mournful Howl's throat.
11.
I will not take you. I will find someone to bring you to where it is.
This is good.
So it stops. And like all of the nearby goblins assemble in a semicircle around it. And he looks for one and then he makes eye contact with a hobgoblin who comes over, does a salute, and then gets down on both knees in front of it. And they have a quick conversation in Warg. The hobgoblin stands up and says, "You are a Zazzit?"
I like look over my shoulder and I'm like, yeah.
I have been told to transit you to the Trinity of Oracles.
That's not the book I asked for.
The Trinity of Oracles is a place where we keep books. We keep all knowledge of everything.
Okay. Fine. Let's go.
Yes. Okay, good. So he looks at the warg, and the warg growls at him again. He says, "We go quickly." Yes.
Perfect.
Have you ever taken a shoe puff?
Sorry, I'm not into drugs.
It is form of transportation.
Oh, okay. I mean, as long as I don't have to pedal anything, I think we'll be okay.
No, we will ride up top. Okay, you come with me. My cousin is shoe puff driver.
Is it literally one of those bikes with like a thing on the back?
No. Good friend. I want you to remember, there was one thing in all of New Game Plus that ever got you excited.
I don't remember what it was.
It was Babu, the elephant.
Oh, an elephant. Okay.
A shoe puff is a blue-purple elephant It's smaller than a normal elephant, but it's much rounder. And its trunk is greatly extended. The trunk is like 22, 25 feet long. So the guy on the back of the shoe puff is definitely smoking some of those drugs that you have never wanted to try before. He's strapped in using leather straps to the head of the shoe puff, and he says, "Ride the shoe puff?"
Oh, I mean, you're related, so that's why we're here.
Yeah. He gestures to the back of the shoe puff where a flat landing, almost like a raft, is strapped to it. It's got pillows, futons, blankets, a small, like, you could put a campfire in the center of it, like a metal brazier, so that you wouldn't burn the raft.
Right.
And there's also some what appear to be scrolls scattered around that talk about local news, upcoming theatrical performances.
It's
TV
like a
guide.
dentist office waiting room.
As you and your companion settle in, the shoe puff rises, and now you understand why those aqueducts have been raised, because it looks like the shoe puff has a lot of trouble putting its very sensitive feet on certain types of material, and it only likes to transit on wood. So it does its best to avoid stepping on land at any time, and simply gets up on the aqueduct. Once it gets up there, you're like, this isn't going to be very quick. But then it starts picking up speed. It starts accelerating, and it lets out a trumpet every 30 seconds or so to let people in its way know to get the hell out of the way. You get like a good land speed, like 35 miles an hour. It reminds you of when you were riding the Giant, but it's much more comfortable. You know, you got 4 pads moving forward, so the weight distribution. You're in the center of gravity rather than riding on top of a giant.
All right, and the trumpet there. Yeah, that.
Every 30 seconds or so. It's not great.
Yeah.
At some point,
if the guy tries to strike up a conversation with him, he's like, "Look, no."
So
please.
at some point in your journey, you have made it to this lake that's towards the middle of Gobotopia. The shoe puff simply runs off the edge of this aqueduct directly into the water. And that's when it really starts picking up speed. This seems to be the natural environment of the shoe puff. It loves swimming, but more importantly, it uses its snout as a propeller to pull it forward. You're like in a reverse fan boat. You're getting like 50-mile-an-hour transit at this point, and you can't hear anything because it's just splashing in every direction. However, it has been hours and hours and hours. Night is beginning to set in, and it looks like your guide has just laid down on one of the pillows, pulled a blanket over himself, and laid down to go to sleep.
Jesus Christ. That's so far away. Okay, so I guess...
Look, man, you went like 50 miles today riding a shoe puff in like 8 hours, okay? That was a pretty good transit time.
Yeah, that's... So what's the expected... How difficult would it be to sleep on something like this?
Make a Constitution saving throw.
20.
Zazzit, you sleep as if you were dead. As you were dreaming, you enter a dream. This is not the dream where Zugarad asks you what power you wish to take in the next day. This is a infinite inky blackness in every direction, but there's still a sense of movement around you, as if you're surrounded by something, breathing it in. And you hear a voice say from the darkness, "You have entered the hall of Theodemar Lear."
Okay. I was actually just sleeping, but, you know. Sure.
Your mind is with me now.
I don't even say anything. I just kind of just like float.
Work hard to secure our pact of master and apprentice. Do not be distracted. The treasures of Gobatopia are known to few.
Okay, look, we talked about this apprentice thing last time I was there. I mean, I don't really like the terminology you're using, you know? Like, I'm not going to bend a knee or anything like that. I'm interested in what you have to share with me knowledge-wise. So let's make that clear.
You search associate.
Fine, yeah, that's acceptable. I'll take that. Remember, no knee bending, none of that stuff. So, what can you tell me about this book? Because you said it was a sword, but it's a book.
It is a tale of ancient days, a work of fiction.
Why am I chasing a make-believe? If it's fiction, why are we here?
Once, long ago, this land of Acas has been ruled by a different sort of empire. When they came from the stars, the elves, it is said, chose to separate themselves into two different organizations. This is a lie that they have told you. There were a group of elves who chose to live in the south, where you are currently transiting through. They became so attuned to the ocean that they were one with it, able to breathe, swim as easily as they could move on land. They became known as the Sea Elves. The Sword of Falir is a romantic novel written by the last king of the Sea Elves.
So, I'm here for some smut.
Do not denigrate the contents of this book. All you need to know is that I want it, and that by bringing it to me, you will gain power. You will gain my trust.
All right. Are they going to have a problem with me taking this book?
Yes.
Do you want the original, or can I get you a copy? What do you want?
Either is fine.
Oh, okay then. Man, a romantic novel, huh? I guess everyone needs a hobby.
The contents of the book exceed the bounds of its covers.
So you're going to tell me that there's some sort of hidden message in between lines of fiction?
There is wisdom there, magical wisdom, but its value to me is sentimental.
Cool. Well, I'll get you this book.
Good. You sense, you don't see, but you feel something huge shifting in this inky darkness. And then you transit your dream to the eternal torments of Zugarod, asking you what spells you'd like to prepare for the next day, while also reminding you that death is infinite and eternal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't change my spells that often.
Yeah, but God checks in every day just to make sure.
Yo, what up?
You feel someone shaking you awake. As you rise, you can see that in the center of the lake has been built something like a ceramic egg, 100 feet tall, maybe 60 feet wide. And as you are approaching it on the shoe puff begins to slow and slow until it barely touches it with its snout. And then you your guide, the shoe puff driver, and the shoe puff are all transported into a flat plain of purple starscape at your feet and black in every direction. There is a hobgoblin standing nearby in a simple white smock who says, welcome to the Trinity of Oracles, Zazzit. Your arrival was anticipated.
Was it the trumpet that gave it away? Every 30 seconds, in case you didn't know.
I should warn you that this place that we are in is not what you would consider the prime material plane. It is one closer to dreams, so that divination may be caught somewhat more regularly. So he pulls out
Dreamcatcher. Okay.
He pulls out a stamp and an inkwell and stamps something for both your guide and the shoe puff driver, who both seem very grateful. What is your purpose in transiting to the Trinity of Oracles?
I'm after a romance novel.
Oh.
Big fan.
What is the name of this title?
The Sword of... Fucking hell, this book name.
Still called Falir, yes.
Falir. I'm sorry. It just in one ear, out the other sometimes with this stuff.
It is an old book. Actually, we don't have any originals, several copies.
No,
Would you prefer
gladly
it?
Take a copy.
Would you prefer it in the original High Elven or in Aquan?
Oh, High Elven, please.
You say you'd like to take a copy. You mean to permanently borrow it?
Absolutely.
We can have a scribe pen you a new copy in 6 months.
It's vitally important that I get on my way. You know,
A romance novel.
well to save all that sort of stuff. Well, a man needs a hobby, you know?
He looks at you with the same sort of judging you just gave.
Yeah, it just washes over me, Arthur. Like, it doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Such a book might be given out to someone like you, should you prove to be of great value to the Gobletopian way of life.
Okay, what do you want?
What do you want? What great service could you perform for our people?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you gotta...
You don't know your own value.
No, I know my value perfectly fine, thank you very much. And you seem to know more about me than you're letting on, so why don't we just skip the formality of me trying to guess what the minimum amount that I can do in order to get the book is, and we just negotiate like human beings.
Sir, please calm down. This is the Trinity of Oracles.
I know that, and you should know that too.
Sir, you're being ridiculous right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really like romance novels.
I don't know very much about you. You seem to be mistaken. I am not a oracle. I simply am their representative for the day.
Okay. So you can't negotiate with me then?
I can negotiate with you. I just don't know what it is that you can do that would be of service to us. I do not have the infinite knowledge of the cosmos. What can you do?
Anything and everything.
I understand that you are a sage, a scholar of some renown. Perhaps you have some hidden knowledge that we could trade for this romance novel.
Oh, how about something even greater than that? You see, I'm a representative of my own organization.
Oh?
The Dawn Agreement. Surely someone you associated by osmos with the oracles would know who they are.
He pulls out a scroll and a pen and says, I don't know who they are, but I am very interested to learn more about an organization of which you are a member of.
Okay, well, we're the shield that protects the new frontier against upcoming supernatural threats, right?
Interesting. What is it exactly that you are offering?
Well, I'm out here looking for allies, and that allyship extends as a shield as well.
It's not sound like you are offering us anything. You are asking us for more.
No, I just offered you a shield from an entire...
Make a persuasion check. It better be good. This number better be... First off, it better be in green, and it better be so high I couldn't count it on one hand.
How about
or two
an
hands.
11?
No.
I mean, you can't count that on two hands, Arthur.
If you had 6 fingers, you could count it on 2 hands.
You just said it better be something higher than I can count on 2 hands. Like, there you go. Exactly what you wanted.
It is higher than 10. That said, it is not high enough to achieve your goal. Your offer will be taken into consideration, and I'm sure it will be discussed by the Houses 3.
All right, you don't sound convinced.
I am not the one you need to convince.
Then why the hell am I talking to you?
I am a emissary of sorts.
Yes, I understand that. I am one myself for multiple things. You're making this very difficult for me just to get a romance novel.
Knowledge has power, Zazzit.
It's a fictional novel.
If you want it, it must have some value.
Yes, I have many lonely nights.
He coughs slightly. He literally doesn't know what to do with that.
Knowledge is power. There you go.
You have no hidden knowledges, great knowledges of the world that we do not have that you could share with us? You do not have any artifacts to trade, items of power?
I got a jug that makes mayonnaise.
What is mayonnaise?
It's raw egg and oil mixed together. You put it on bread.
He's writing that down. You've literally just invented mayonnaise for the Gabatopian people.
Oh, is that enough?
No. You have just taught them the art of emulsification, so...
Listen, let me tell you the thing about preservatives. Well, the other thing that I'm quite familiar with is, do you know the god of death? I happen to know him very intimately.
Yes. We know of its name. We have preserved it in our histories, although few would say it out loud.
Why? It's an entity. Anyway, look.
An entity that controls the power of death and could strike any of us down at any moment, yes.
Mm-hmm. And I am but one of his emissaries.
All right, I want you to know that your 2 shoe puff guys, they've been checking out of this conversation. When you declare that you're an emissary of Zugurad, they're both like, oh! And the dude you're talking to is like, oh shit, this dude could kill me at any moment. You know, like everyone in the room is suddenly like, high alert, high alert. You claim to be an emissary of what you call an entity.
So here's my symbol. I pull it out of like
right,
the thing.
Make a religion check real quick.
Okay. Hey, that's pretty good. 15.
Okay, make an intimidation check real quick.
Where is that on this list? Oh, there it is. No. I mean, I'm not using it to intimidate, but, you know, I guess that's an effect of it, right? So...
I understand that emissaries as it. Have you come to trade lives or time, perhaps?
I'm here to trade for a book. We've talked about this already.
Yes, but what do you have to offer for it?
As I said,
Souls?
I can give you intimate knowledge of the god of death.
I will
And
speak.
I say that in such a way that's very different from how Zazzit normally says it, since it seems to have an effect here.
I will speak with the Trinity of Oracles. He just disappears.
Cool guy.
The shoe puff driver is making like the sign of warding off evil towards you.
No, stop it, please.
Devil.
No, lizard folk. Very different race.
He appears back again and says, your offering will be accepted. He takes a piece of cloth off of a thing in his hands and hands you a copy written in Aquan of the Sword of Falir.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. High Elvish. Original. Not original, but like, you know, in the text that it was originally written in.
Foomp. It's back with another book.
Okay.
Make a history check real quick. I want to see how good your High Elvish is, because you speak regular Elvish, right?
I do, yeah.
All right. Elvish, so it should be noted that High Elvish is like 20,000 years old at this point. So
it's kind of like Old English and English, right? A little bit.
I mean, it's kind of like Latin and English. Right?
Okay,
You're like, oh,
yeah.
that word, it sounds familiar.
How about a 3?
Is flammatory and inflammatory the same thing? Mm-hmm. Is flammable and inflammable the same thing? I don't know. Jesus. All right. Your High Elvish is shit. All right. You can't read a fucking word of this. It's like if you went to the American South and someone was like, Pig Joe, head yourself down to the market, get out your pickle today, get your fried pickle down here. And you're like, what? What are you saying?
Yeah. So, but it's worth pointing out that the original... You gotta wash
your water down the creek today. And you're just like, what were any of those words?
Just nod your head and wave, boys.
I swear, you must be speaking English, right? You live in America.
So, the original was written in High Elvish, yes?
Yes. This is a copy of the original.
Great. That's perfect. That's literally jobs done.
I mean, you have to give them the secret knowledge of Zucker, the god of death. They're expecting a scholarly paper or maybe a tome, your life's work condensed into one pamphlet.
So I'll preach to them.
You're gonna. All right. So when you start, the emissary you're talking to is like, perhaps I should bring someone more receptive and more prepared. Foop. He disappears. Like 4 minutes later, he reappears, and then there's like a boom, 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 boom. As like 10 scholars appear around him with like late 2000s school desks.
The ones that are like the L's.
Yeah. They all begin sitting down with pieces of paper and ink, and they've got huge stacks next to them. Mm-hmm. And the lead scholar checks everyone else and then goes, Emissary Zazzit, begin.
All right, class is in session.
Looking at it upside down, you can tell that each of them is writing this in a different language.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. I like that. It's like a collection of knowledge sort of thing. Yeah, I dig it.
They're all hobgoblins, by the way. I should mention that real quick. All of the scholars are hobgoblins.
It's very, very different from what I expected hobgoblins to be, but you know, that's
well, look,
D&D sometimes.
We could have gotten into a discussion of the Houses 3, met the Trinity of Oracles, broken down the structure of law and justice on this island, but you just want to get the book, so we skipped all that stuff I prepared.
You should know Zazzit by now. He's literally just like arrow straight.
Yeah, but I wrote this part before I knew it was Zazzit coming here.
Oh, I see.
This is the traditional structure of Gobotopia. Mm-hmm. All right. They want hours and hours of information out of you. On a 15, you give them what they're looking for. You know, there's no secret hidden rituals, but an understanding of where life goes after you die and the process of judgment, your soul being moved either for rebirth or perhaps if you've served a god well and they intercede on your behalf, you get to go live in their magical palace land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I imagine a lot of this knowledge was given to Zazzit during dream conversations.
Yeah, mostly they go like this. I am Zul'Gurad. Listen well.
I've got like in my dream it was a rock, but now it's like shaped to my buttocks because I've been there so much, you know? Like
not just your buttocks, but also your tail, right? There'd be a tail spot for your tail to have slotted into.
Just like a swish, you know, like
like a canyon. All right. Unless there's anything else you want to do, we can have you back on the docks ready to leave. It'll take another day of transit, but...
While I'm here, I'll fulfill my obligation to the Dawn Agreement.
You have presented your obligation to the emissary, and you have received no answer from the people here.
Okay.
If you ask somebody, probably the emissary will tell you. The Houses 3 will decide this over the course of judgment. The goblins must be contacted, and the House of Lower must be prepared.
Like, you want me to do that, or like...
We will accomplish this. You have sent the message. We will send a reply in a year or two.
Fine by me. And, you know, on the way back, I'll, like, you know, take a moment and do a coin call-in with the Dawn Agreement.
At the coin call-in, you get like, you're about to give your report, and the person at the desk is like, oh, Mr. Zazzit, we have an emergency report here that there's been Jubilix worship in Stormwall recently, and apparently one of the lieutenants running a castle has become a traitor to all mortal life and is attempting to harvest magic out of people. I just wanted to make sure you had that update. I'm ready to receive your report, sir.
Yeah, Gobotopia is on board. They need about 1.5 years to organize themselves internally, but...
That's a long... Could you speed that process up just a little bit? Like, this isn't an order or anything. I don't have that kind of authority. But 1 year sounds like 1.5 years? That's a long time to make a decision on the fate of the world. It
sounds like you're not really listening to their needs as a race. So,
you know what? You're right. I apologize. I shouldn't have made any presumptions.
They do things a little differently in Gobotopia. I mean, if you were here, you would understand that.
Says a guy. It's just, I love the fact that you're preaching to him when you've been like, I don't care about anything. What's happening here?
Look, I've been here for a long time now.
How long?
A long time.
Well, less than a day.
They don't even know that. And I've assimilated an understanding of how the hierarchy works. So this is definitely for the best. They are interested in this.
Zazzit's level of competence and competence are so far apart, it's amazing. I have an understanding of their hierarchy. Name any branch of their government at all.
The trifecta of oracles. Come on. I'm literally in the room right now.
It's the Trinity of oracles.
I even gave a sermon to them.
That's true, you did. Anything else you'd like to do before heading back?
I mean, I got that package of goods that I bought from the ship. Are they like what is the main export here? Is this something that I can?
So the main import here is items of mechanical value, which they can use to assemble things like wagon wheels and machinery. Their main export here appears to be knowledge and divination. They assemble books of upcoming events and like almanacs, weather reports and such, and sell them in the form of pamphlets.
Any necromancy tomes or anything like that here that I can exchange for these goods?
at this guy here looking to buy some necromancy tomes. Okay. All right. You've got some money. I feel
I've
like
also got that 100 GP worth of trade goods too. So
yeah. All right. You can buy a tome of necromancy here.
sick.
It's no. Before you say yes, it is a tome detailing your future actions.
My future actions?
Yes, it is a tome about Zazzit. Everything is steeped in like really vague language. He shall drink of the sea and know it. Stuff like that. But then it does describe occasionally very directly. It's like, all right, and then he learned a spell. And you're like, all right, let's get the spell's description. And it like you're about to learn the spell, and the guy slaps his hand on the thing and says, "You must pay before you take." And you get the idea that if you take this, you can learn access to spells of a level you can't cast yet. And when you reach that level, you will be able to cast it, and therefore have learned a spell you would not have learned until the future.
So, is this the type of thing that I would learn by leveling up? Or is this a spell that I wouldn't have?
You will gain access to unique spells that I have written for you that are necromantic in nature. They don't exist in any player's handbook. They are alternative versions of spells that already exist but are more necromancy.
Mm-hmm. I'm into it. Let's do it.
All
it's
right.
fun.
You basically have to spend all of your money, and the guy turns over the tome to you and says, "It's a good purchase. I didn't think anyone would ever buy a book about this guy. I've had it around for like 15 years.
I'm the guy the book's written about, so...
Oh, shit. Well, that's dangerous. Good luck, buddy."
Literally, the first page says Zazzit buys a book from a stranger who rips him off, so, you know.
I've read the end of the book. You should be careful.
I like knowing how I'll die. That's the best part.
All right. When you start taking your small boat back to Captain Saren's vessel, you begin to feel a pull on your mind that you should take the Sword of Falir and throw it into the water.
Can I investigate this pool?
It's the ocean. It's a strong storm sea.
No, I mean the pool on my mind.
Oh, the pull on your mind. Make an Arcana check. Make a wisdom saving throw real quick.
That's the first one I failed.
Yeah, but it's a good one to fail, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
You try to trace the magic back, and you're like, all right, I'm going to do this. Then you look down, and your hand is reaching the book up and holding it out over the water, and you're like, wait, what's happening? And then your hand opens, and the book falls into the water. But as it does, it gets caught in an air bubble, and it sinks inside that bubble.
Okay.
At that point, you regain the ability to control your own actions.
Well, I hope that was what I was supposed to do.
You make it back to the boat with Captain Saren. They have been selling your mayonnaise to the locals for a pretty tidy sum, and the chef, Chambers, is like, yeah, he's like rolling through these fat billfolds made out of gold coins, just drizzling gold coins down into his hand. He's salt baying gold coins.
So I see. You take advantage of me, and you don't offer me any part of the...
No. He takes the coins, and then he uses his butcher's machete to chop the pile in half, and then pushes half towards you. There's 25 gold coins here. For half of the price of a bowl of mayonnaise. It's pretty good. They must have been selling that mayonnaise like it was made out of black gold.
I literally bought a book that details my likely very grisly death for the tidy sum of half of what they sold the mayonnaise for.
Yeah, but you're pretty much the only one who is ever going to want to buy this book. You know, it's a unique material.
Yeah. Okay, so inventory. Where's the gold on this sheet? Oh, there it is.
Doesn't matter because you barely have any.
So I spent all of it, including the 15 that I had on me, and now I have 25. Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice.
You can also mark down that you have the Book of Zazzit. Technically, the pamphlet of Zazzit.
The Book of Zazzit. It'll turn out that at the end of this, like you close the chapter on the show, and it's literally just you reading the Book of Zazzit.
Wow, incredible!
It's meta, super meta. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That night,
the Book of Zazzit. Nice.
You go to sleep, and you briefly believe that you're even dreaming, but you find yourself at the top of the crow's mast of the ship. And you're pretty sure that this is real. It's very real. And you hear a voice say, Zazzit, you have brought me what I desired. You have proven to be a good research associate.
That's what we agreed upon.
I will now teach you power. What form would you like your first servant to take the form of?
Ooh, that is interesting. Humans don't like skeletons, so let's not do that.
It will be a skeleton.
Oh, okay then.
Bird, snail.
Snails have skeletons?
They have exoskeletons, probably. Look, I am a great and wise being.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps you would like a skeletal horse.
That does sound fun. Yes, let's go with a horse.
All right. So you feel power flowing into you as a whirlpool starts beside the ship, and some sleeping crew members like, there's a whirlpool here, Captain. And like the ship's being pulled sideways, and from out of it, you can feel like almost out of your control, you're trying to pull something up from the depths so far. And then on the water steps a skeletal horse that appears like it can walk on water. And it begins to trot alongside the ship while occasionally making noises like, horse noise, like, I don't know, what noise does a horse make? A whinny?
No.
It just walks alongside the ship at like 3.5 miles an hour. But you can sense that this thing is your summoned creature. You can summon and dismiss it as you would until it is eternally destroyed.
Nice. What level is that?
What level is what?
Spell.
No, it's not a spell. This is a ritual that he's cast to give you a permanent companion that you control.
Can I hide it and make it come back, or
you desummon it? So like the crewman who was like, I saw it, Captain. It was the ghost of a Kelpie. I swear the whirlpool's there. And like he goes, there's no whirlpool. There's no ghost horse. There's nothing in the water. The water is perfectly smooth and clear. And the captain's like, I'll be withholding your rum rations for the next 2 days. Get back on watch, Jensen.
Zazzit actually laughs at that.
Zazzit, what are you doing in the crow's nest? How did you even get up there?
What a stupid question that is.
Is it?
How did I get up a crow's nest? The way everyone else does, obviously.
All right, I'll buy that. Why are you up there?
Is it illegal?
No, it's just unusual. I don't know that anyone taught you what to do or how to get up there, so.
I just really wanted to see my summon in action.
Your what?
Nothing, don't mind me.
Lizard folk are an odd and vexatious folk. I'm going back to sleep, Mr. Zazzit. Have a good evening.
Thank you for telling me.
That's it. That's the end of this particular episode. You will level up, and I will give you, before your next episode, one of the spells you gain from your future knowledge.
Hell yeah. I think I'm going sorcerer level 3 next time, but I'll need to check. I can't remember what it is that my plan was there, but
all right.
That's awesome.
Got any projects you need to announce?
We started a Reddit channel for the company. Go check
Kinky
that out.
Fridays?
Yeah, Kinky Fridays. It's actually
is it r/Kinky Fridays?
It is, and it's growing quite quickly. All things considered. Excuse me, I had the hiccups. But yeah, go follow my Twitter. Go buy my games and go buy Arthur a pizza or a coffee or whatever he wants.
I mean, I do like pizza, but I don't know about the rest of that. Are you talking about pizza? Like coffee pizza?
No, yeah, like just send him some bits or whatever.
All right, bits would be fine. Coffee pizza, coffee pizza. You really think you can just get coffee pizza? You gotta stop. I'll be doing this all day. Ooh, all right. Have a good afternoon.